Pixelmator Pro 2.0 is the biggest update to Pixelmator Pro yet. In this video, we'll take a quick look at what's new, from the biggest changes to subtle little things you may not immediately notice. So first of all, Pixelmator Pro has a beautiful new icon to match the fresh new look of the dock in macOS Big Sur. Now here's the new What's New window, which highlights the biggest new additions in Pixelmator Pro 2.0. There's support for the incredible new Apple M1 chip and macOS Big Sur. As for everything else, we'll look at it in this video. Now here's the brand new Pixelmator Pro interface. It's customizable, so you can change the position of the sidebars, the tool list, and the buttons in the toolbar. The easiest place to reach all the new customization options is in the View menu. If you choose to customize the toolbar, you'll notice you can add certain tools to the toolbar, like crop and export for web. Although we've now moved these tools to the main list on the right. In the toolbar, you'll also notice we've replaced the old Zoom pop-up menu with a handy slider. The performance of zooming itself has also been improved by around 30%, so it should feel snappier. Other new buttons in the toolbar are the Document Info button and the Rotate Image button. That's about it for the toolbar. Now, if you want to customize the position of the sidebars and tool list, you can choose the Customize Layout command from the View menu. If you'd like the tools to appear on the left, simply drag them over in this dialog. You can even put them at the top or the bottom of the application window. Finally, you can also customize the list of tools by choosing Customize Tools from the View menu or the More menu at the bottom here. If you don't feel like customizing the UI yourself, we've also included workspace presets for common workflows: photography, illustration, design, and painting. You'll find those in Pixelmator Pro Preferences. In each preset, the tools and layout of the app are specifically optimized for each workflow. You can customize the existing workspace presets yourself and create your own ones too. Another big change is the brand new Presets browser and a huge batch of over 200 new presets. Let's check out how the presets look in the Color Adjustments tool. You'll notice they're now much more compact, and they're in a much more reachable position. What's more, there are now different preset collections, and we've included a number of new ones, including presets based on modern films, classic films, presets designed for landscape photography, urban photography, and more. The Color Adjustments tool now has 46 presets in total. If you click the More menu, you'll be able to create new collections, rename or remove existing ones, and more. While we're here, let's take a look at what else is new in the Color Adjustments tool. First, all adjustments are now visible by default. And the new adjustment switch turns off an adjustment, hiding its controls. If you'd like to remove certain adjustments, you can scroll down to the bottom of the Tool Options pane and click the new Customize button. Let's move on to the Effects tool. There are 6 new preset collections here, with 42 effect presets in total. The biggest change is the beautiful effects browser that appears when you click this new Add Effect button. All of the core image-powered effects are displayed with thumbnail previews and instant search, so you can just start typing to find the effect you need. If you've applied multiple effects, it's now much easier to rearrange them. Simply use drag and drop. And removing effects is easier too, thanks to the new Delete button. Now, let's move on to the Shape tool. First of all, it can now be selected by pressing the U keyboard shortcut. Instead of the old Shapes palette, we now have a much more consistent Shapes browser at the top of the Tool Options pane. And if you click the Shape Collection pop-up menu, you'll find 5 shape collections with 77 shape presets in categories like Science, Nature, and Work. Just like all the other preset browsers, you can actually drag to resize the browser. And while we're checking out the shapes, a small but incredibly useful change is being able to deselect shapes after drawing them. This is great when you draw a shape, then you want to set the style of the next shape you'll draw. Without deselecting, you would change the style of the current shape. But if you press the Escape key, adjusting style options in the Tool Options pane will change the style of the next shape you'll draw. Another handy improvement to vector shapes is the new Align to Pixel Grid feature. When drawing or transforming vector shapes, their anchor points won't necessarily align to the pixel grid. Any edges or points not at pixel boundaries will be partially transparent. Usually, this isn't a problem, but if you're drawing pixel-perfect icons, you might want to make sure certain points are exactly at the boundaries between pixels. You can control-click a shape on the canvas and choose Align to Pixel Grid and align all its points to the pixel grid. Or you can also choose Make Editable, then select specific points to align those points to the pixel grid. Finally, let's move on to the Style tool. First of all, the Style tool also has a new presets browser with a number of new preset collections. You'll notice styles are now easier to turn off and remove, and there's some big changes to the gradient fill style. Clicking the gradient well opens up the new Gradients browser with, you guessed it, a whole bunch of great new gradient presets. And modifying gradients themselves is now easier, with a number of new controls to the Tool Options pane for adjusting the gradient type, the direction of the colors, and on-canvas controls. You'll also find these same changes in the Gradient Fill tool and anywhere else that gradients might appear. So that's a quick overview of some of the biggest and most interesting changes you'll find in Pixelmator Pro 2.0. Of course, there's a lot more that we haven't had time to cover. Hope you enjoyed the update, and we'll see you next time.